Welcome to the Fan of Astronomy YouTube channel. I am the Fan of History and now the Fan of Astronomy. I run the Fan of History channel and one of my other big interests is astronomy. So I figured I should do something around astronomy, and the name Fan of Astronomy seemed easy enough. I really did not plan to launch this now, but we're going to do it later. But now we have the Pluto Flyby, and that's a major astronomical event. So I figured I would talk a bit about the Pluto system as we know it today, because tomorrow, this is the 13th of July 2015, and tomorrow we probably know a lot more, because that's the day when New Horizons passes Pluto. So Pluto is then a pretty big piece of rock out in the void, and this is a size comparison between the United States and Pluto and Charon, I think. We pronounce it differently in Swedish, and I'm not a native English speaker. So Pluto is pretty big, but the strange thing with Charon then is that it's also very, very big, and it's so big in fact that it doesn't orbit Pluto, but Pluto and Charon orbits the same center of gravity of the system, which is outside the surface of Pluto. This means that they are actually a pair of dwarf planets, but getting something recognized as a dwarf planet is extremely hard. It's actually the case that our solar system probably has 300 dwarf planets at least, but right now we only have 5 official dwarf planets, of which Pluto is one and Charon is not. This was what we thought about the Pluto system for a long time. It's very, very hard to observe Pluto from the surface of the Earth or from something like Hubble, because it's so far away. But we have discovered a couple of things. We have discovered 4 other moons, and these are tiny rocks in comparison. We have Pluto at a diameter of about 2,300 kilometers. Charon is at 1,200, so it's half the diameter. But the other guys are tiny places. Nix and Hydra orbit Pluto at approximately 2 and 3 times the distance of Charon. They are pretty small. The estimate today is 46 kilometers in diameter for Nix and 61 for Hydra. That's 1/20th of Charon. Kerberos and Styx are even smaller. Kerberos is somewhere between 13 to 34 kilometers. And I bet they already know how big it is now that New Horizons is so close. And Styx is even smaller, between 10 and 25 kilometers. So these are small rocks that Pluto has captured out of the Kuiper belt. And this was a quick overview of the system, but we are going to know a bit more. Okay, here's a size comparison. This is Charon to the lower right, and then Nix, Hydra, Kerberos and Styx in their probable sizes. So they are not big enough to be rounded by their own gravity, and they're just asteroids, junk from the Kuiper belt. So, thank you for watching, and let me know what you want to see on the Fan of Astronomy channel. I have some plans. We have a huge model of the solar system. The model is actually 2,000 kilometers big here in Sweden, and I'm going to give you videos from each of the planetary system objects. I am going to be focused a lot about exoplanets. I'm going to talk a lot about planets, rocks, stuff like that. That's what interests me the most. And other star systems with planets on them, because they are finding stuff in other solar systems, which is super interesting right now. And then, of course, we'll talk about my pet peeve, dwarf planets. Thank you for watching, and see you more on the Fan of Astronomy channel.